Okay, we're going to David Newton, this gentleman right here, and then we'll get another one. Go ahead.
Yeah, Clint, David Newton, ESPN.com. Kind of looking ahead to Martinsville. As a driver, do you wish there were more short tracks on the schedule, and do you think that would fix some of the complaints you hear about NASCAR if there were?
I wish they'd use most of these racetracks for parking lots and build another one inside of them, but, you know, that's just a short tracker from the Midwest talking. But, you know, these bigger tracks, California, you know, believe it, that was an awesome race. You know, all race long, not just because I was running up front. It was a good race. You know, even when I wasn't running, you know, in the top 3 or 4, whoever was battling for it. You know, at times Mark Martin got out a little bit, and some guys, you know, the leader may have got away, but you know, it was a great race. So these bigger racetracks can be good racing. You know, Goodyear's done a great job, sometimes almost too good a job on these bigger racetracks. You know, of creating excitement within the race. I think they have a big role in that. I think the tire has a lot bigger role with this new car than you know, one would think. But I wish there was more short tracks. Martinsville, to answer your question, is one that I used to be, you know, scared to death of, and I look forward to it every time I go back now.
This gentleman right here, and then Destin.
Clint, Kenny Beck with WXII. We're NBC up in Greensboro. Looking at the standings right now, if you add 150 points to your score, you'd be in 5th instead of Tony Stewart. How much do you let that drive you crazy over the rest of the chase, or do you just say, look, there's nothing I can do about it, we have to move on, and like you said before, do whatever we can to get the championship to RCR?
Yeah, well, you know, you can't let that bother you. I mean, it's over with and done with, but you know, your goal, everybody says, well, our goal's got to be, you know, to be within 150 points in the last race of the championship. And I'm like, I don't know that I would want to be in that situation going into the banquet. That would be miserable. But I would think I'd steal the trophy and run off or something. But it is what it is. You know, the focus is bringing the championship home for RCR, no different than it was the very first race of the season. And, you know, right now, certainly Kevin's done a good job of that. And, you know, Jeff Burton's not out of it. We just got to get him on a little bit better roll. We got to focus on the things we can do. Again, you know, as I touched on before, we got to get to qualifying better. That way we can run up front throughout the race and you know, have better everything that comes with qualifying good. You know, the track position, the pit road selection, just everything.
Let's go right here to Mike. Can we get him a microphone, and then Dustin?
Hey, Clint, Mike Solarte, News 14. A lot of talk about Talladega being a wild card race. Charlotte play into that as well, with it being a night race, or is this track familiar enough to all the chase teams that it's just another night race at Charlotte?
Well, you know, certainly the night race always brings an extra element of excitement to the air. But, you know, I don't think when I'm looking at wild card races, I don't think Charlotte probably stacks up like Talladega does. But, you know, certainly this is a racetrack that, you know, it can be miserable. I've been here before and had great runs and had a good car and you know, all of a sudden with that same package, it's not run very well and been in the back and struggle all night long. I mean, it's very finicky, seems like, and it's very tricky to get a good balance on your race car, and then more importantly, keep that track position. You know, one wrong call on pit road of staying out, or 2 tires or 4 tires, whatever the case may be, you lose track position on a track like this at this size and the speed that it is, you're in big trouble.
Okay, we got time for a couple more. Let's go Dustin, go over here to John, and then finish front row right here. I'm sorry, Steve. Steve. I have to catch him on the way out maybe. Okay, go ahead.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Clint, in talking about Martinsville, last 8 races at Martinsville, either Hamlin or Johnson has won there. I know you finished 7th in the spring. You actually finished ahead of Jimmy. But when you go into that weekend, do you almost have to look at those 2 guys, and for 2 guys to dominate a track like that, winning each of the last 8 races, 3 times they finished 1-2, how perplexing and how challenging is that for you?
I think the rest of us needs to wreck them on the first lap, sounds to me like. But no. Yeah, they're good. I mean, you know, that's why they've won the last 8 races, is because they're good there. And, they forced all of the rest of us to work on our program and get better. I know at RCR that's one of the racetracks that we've focused on to get better at, and I think as a group we've all gotten way, way better, at Martinsville. So, certainly those guys, not only their cars and their equipment, but their driving styles and the way they drive the track is good, and it's up to us to step it up and beat them.
Let's go, John, and then we'll finish up with Steve.
Yeah, John Gunn, NASCAR Illustrated. Are there any areas in particular where you think you and your team can improve?
I think, you can always improve everywhere. Jimmy Johnson's, look at him. We always look at him and use him as an example. He's won 4 championships in a row, and he's going to have to improve to win a 5th. I think that's just the competition and everything of this sport. You always have to improve, and I think our organization is definitely improved a lot this year. There's certainly areas, that you look at every week. From the pit stop data to the qualifying. That's, to answer your question, I've talked about 3 times is qualifying. We got to qualify better. If we can qualify up front, I think we'll do a better job of finishing up front.
Final question. Go ahead.
Steve Richards, PRN. Want to know what it was like for you to be on The Price is Right.
Yeah. A new car. And she won. It was awesome. No, it was a really cool experience. Austin and I were completely embarrassed, and we had no idea what we were doing. And Drew Carey was cool. He's lost like 90 pounds. He walked by me the first time, and I didn't even recognize him. And I was like, "Where's Drew at?" He said, "He's right behind you." By God, it is. But very cool experience. It's amazing how, growing up, that show just seems, just huge, and it's always when you go to those sets and things, it's unbelievable how small they really are. They make it look so big on TV, and yet it's just one studio, and it's, in and out and done within an hour. So very neat experience. I'm glad we got to do it.
I know you were a guest on it. Now, could you have made it up on stage if you had to price items?
I don't know. Somehow they do a great job of building excitement in the air. When those people come down there, it's completely random, and I'm telling you what, they are wound up. Some of our PR people were in the stands, and the first couple times, you could tell that they were like with us. We could see, I was in the back watching, the live feed, and you could see him back there, and everybody's hooting and hollering, and they didn't quite know what to do. They were sitting there stone-faced, and all of a sudden about 2 more people come, and they're in it, man. My kid who works for me, Chip, he's back there, 750, 750. She said 901, and he's like, nope. And she won, and it was a fun experience, and they did a great job with it.
Thank you, Clint. Appreciate it.